Hi everyone, this is Terry Barnes. Okay, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about living with IIH, which is benign intercranial hypertension. IIH is basically swelling in the brain. You know when somebody has an accident and they hit their head and they have to be monitored really closely? Well, that's basically what this is. However, this is not from being hit over the head with something. Benign intercranial hypertension is caused by pressure in the brain, which is excess CFS fluid that doesn't drain out of your brain and spinal column properly. Now, IIH is a very debilitating disease. As you may see by looking at me, I don't look like I'm sick or anything apart from missing hair. I'll get around to that. Anyways, IIH is basically a silent disease until you get the headaches and a few other things. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, how it came to be. One day, I went to the optometrist, finally, after many months of not going to him and putting it off because I know I was going blind. I could see all of my vision was either doubled or my eyes are very painful and I couldn't see much. Anyways, I went to the optometrist after my mum pleading me to, and basically after the optometrist was finished, he said that I need to go straight up to hospital either tonight or tomorrow. The next day I went up to the hospital and waited in emergency for I think it was about 10-12 hours. And eventually they come to me and say they're going to admit me. And I was freaking out because I didn't know what was going on, what the optometrist thought was going on. All I knew was my pressure in my eyes were high. And they admitted me. And then I spent overnight in the short-term ward. Sorry. Please. And then I went to the teenage ward at the Mater Hospital, which is okay for the first time, but otherwise it's not a great ward. Okay. And then, I went there. Long story short, the day that I got there, next day in the morning, about 11 a.m, they took me for a CT scan. And then 3 days later, they did a lumbar puncture, which is quite painful for someone who hasn't had it before. I absolutely stress that you should get sedation. Because when they put the needle into the spinal cord, the way they know that the needle is in the right place is that it sends shooting pains down your legs, which is basically nerve spasms, and it's not very fun. And they did that, and my pressure was 30. And then the next time I saw the doctor, they were basically giving me daily blood tests. And about a week and a half later, they finally gave me a diagnosis, intercranial hypertension. And then they put me on a medication called Diamox. Diamox is a great medication to reduce it. However, it has many side effects, such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. It basically feels like chemo. That's the only thing I can put it down to. And then, and then they discharged me about 3-4 days later, and it turns out I lost a lot of my vision. Then about 4 weeks after that, they put me in for another lumbar puncture, and the pressure was then 34. Now, the pressure's gone up, and it's not very fun because the main symptoms of intracranial hypertension is severe headaches, sometimes neck pain from the headaches, then you can get very bad ringing ears, and it's basically very debilitating because you feel sick and nauseous all the time and very tired. Intercranial hypertension is basically a horrible disease. I try to manage it as best as I can and try to hide my symptoms because I don't like people seeing me sick. But this is why I'm putting this on, because I'm getting to the stage now where I can't hide my symptoms, because now my pressure is quite high and it's affecting my optic nerves, which is making my vision worse and more doubled. So now I've gotten to the stage where I can't really read anymore, because if I'm looking at a page, it doubles over. Yeah, so it's not very fun. But basically I've gotten to the stage now where they are going to do... Oh, by the way, I've known about this now since... I think it's the 3rd of March. 3rd of March I got released from hospital. So it would be around then. So basically it's been, 5 months? Not even that yet. 4 or 5 months. And yeah. But they reckon I've had this disease for probably 2-3 years, but it's gradually getting worse. So now they've gotten to the stage where they're going to admit me into hospital. Well, that was the plan. It was planning to be me admitted into hospital tomorrow, but because I have nobody to look after the dogs, I have to wait for a little while. So they're going to be doing another lumbar puncture next week, which is not going to be very fun, because after a lumbar puncture you have to stay still for 4 hours, laying flat on your back. And then, depending what that lumbar puncture says, I'll be seeing a neurosurgeon and also a couple other specialists. But a neurosurgeon to discuss whether I'm going to have a shunt in place. A shunt is basically a big thick tube that goes from this part of your brain and a big cut around here, and then it goes down and down to your stomach, all internal. So hopefully that will do the trick, and hopefully I'll be able to have it done soon, and then I can start studying again. I cannot stress this enough. Somebody that looks fine sometimes isn't. They still need your support. Look, I'm fine, but don't judge somebody just on their outside appearance. Judge them on what they have. Oh, not really. Don't judge them on what they have. Help them. That's what they really need. Even if it's just a phone call or just a message saying, "Hi, how are you?" or anything really. Even just liking this video. Somebody out there will know. Also, IIH isn't researched in Australia at the moment. IIH is only being researched in Germany, and they've found good results with a new needle, but however, they're not studying it in Australia, which sucks. IIH is a very debilitating disease. I'd do anything not to have this. I'd rather have something else. It's hard, because as soon as you stand up, you get the headaches. As soon as you sit up, you get the headaches. If you lay down, it eases off a tiny bit, but you can't stay laying down all the time. You force yourself to get up, but knowing that you're going to have pain all day until you lay down for bed each night. It's quite hard. Most people don't understand what I'm going through, and I understand that. It's because I hide a lot. IIH is not fun. Nobody knows what you're going through until you have it yourself. Fair enough, some people say, "Oh, I've got a terrible migraine." Oh yes, I know what that feels like. People with IIH have it 24/7. It never goes away. Never. Just think about that. Then you've got the ringing ears constantly. IIH is not like a normal headache. IIH is a constant pressure headache. It's something that you can never go away. Not unless you have surgery or by some miracle Diamox or Tropamax or something else works. It's like, I suppose, it's kind of like having 10 kilos of weight sitting on your head 24/7. And then you get absolutely pissed off. You suffer very bad mood swings because you can't sleep at night. It wakes you up. And even lately, for me, I've been going to bed about between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, which is very unusual for me. I normally go to bed 12, 2 o'clock, and then I've been getting up between 5 and 7 a.m. in the morning. And half that you don't sleep. Then it's basically, as soon as you get up, it's the same old routine. Headache, headache, headache. So, basically, I want to set up some sort of foundation to get the Australian government's support. And, hopefully they will start doing something about it, start researching it. Even if some people start writing letters to the universities or something like that. But people with IIH, just message me at barnes6297 or at gmail.com. Okay? And we can get the Australian government to do something about IIH. We can try and get some research on board. Research is what will save us from getting the shunt surgery. And even though the shunt surgery is not guaranteed to work, sometimes it blocks up with little bits of blood, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. Sometimes it can get kinked or just stop working altogether. That's why we need to find another cure for IIH. If you can hear me, like this video and send me a message. I hate Barnes6297 out.